It's industrial chic or edgy elegance. It has elements of a nonchalant, but then also a dressed up element. I think it crosses both. I think it's definitely utilitarian as in that it functions. I think that I really pay attention to fit and what is flattering to a woman. Definitely a woman, not a young girl. Texture, color, and shape are everything that is part of making clothes. The texture evokes a mood quicker than something flat. So when you're looking at a flat fabric, you're maybe more inclined to look at the shape of the garment. When you're looking at a texture, you don't really necessarily, the shape doesn't have to be as obvious because you're getting one element of the design. Sometimes we'll do dyeing for lab dips for color for the collection. We'll do dyeing on the garments, dyeing of any kind of fabric. We do the latexing in here, latexing or silicone. You have your concepts that are building before you even end the last collection. You might be inspired by a movie, architecture, a person on the street. Everyone's kind of collecting information for everywhere. Then the fabric comes in, then you start seeing color. And then this idea, like thinking about mixing of materials, then we go into one special treatment per season. It's just mixing a very modern material with a very old material and seeing how we can make that viable in a collection. This is a mixture of different things. We make our colors, we've made custom colors. So the point of this is really we want to give texture. And we can do that by the amount that we squish through the fabric and how open weave or closed weave the fabric is. Because these materials don't come in colors, we have to figure out a way to make color. Trying different materials is what takes a long time. You get an idea that may not be the best idea, but you want to kind of play around and see how far you can take it. Because nobody wants to buy like an expensive fur and then maybe have it all latex. They want to feel the cozy comfort, warmth of the fur. I just dip that in there, what that looks like. So you can see, and it looks really great layered over many different hair textures. The latexing here, I want it to look like when you get into an old leather armchair, like it's worn. So like if your sleeves are constantly moving over the hip, that the hip looked like it got worn. This is an example of dipping a simple tote bag that we've dyed and then dipped in the bottom. But what I love about it is you can set this on the floor of a restaurant and not really worry because you can wipe it off. So that's what's great about a synthetic fabric, because everybody needs things to perform. I think that I want to work more in what I would call an accessory garment, which is what, like our fur collars, they almost look like a garment, but they're not, they're like a partial garment. And what I think is nice about them is they can be more eccentric, more experimental, because they're a piece that you add to your investment clothing. That's a big area of growth, and I think that's a great area for these kinds of experiments. I prefer this. My husband's a better cook. I cook home style, like my parents' recipes. I grew up, my parents owned restaurants, so I've been bussing tables and in the restaurant business for my entire life. It's definitely multitasking, and it's creating something, and it's customer service. And all those things have to do with being a designer and selling clothes at the end of the day. It's still a customer service business.